All right, greetings everyone. Greetings. Good morning. It's morning here still. Or good afternoon, or good evening, good night, good morrow, whatever you say in your part of the galaxy. Hope you're making it a great day. Got some GACs to play today, but also want to talk about the new Krayt raid. Got some things to discuss there. I'm sure you all have questions. I have questions. Maybe we can share what I know, what I've seen, what other people know. I don't, I'm not an expert on the stuff at this point, but definitely willing to engage in the conversation with you guys. Talk about what I've seen so far, what I think. Get your questions, and see if we can get some good answers as a community. A lot of it comes down to the reward system. So there's a few things that we'll go through with the reward system. I'll talk about my initial look at that stuff, and we'll see if we can make some sense of it. JMJ says hello. TK's in the house. We got Piro 640. Hello there. Haha, nice. Arvin Blood Spirits here. Hello there. Dalton Miles says hello. JMJ says the rewards suck on the new raid. Law says hello, sir. All right. So, I don't know if the rewards suck as bad as you think. They're not bad. I mean, the rewards on the new raid aren't bad. Not horrible. There is one thing, though, that I think that I didn't realize, that maybe other people didn't realize. Were you guys aware that you got to do battles in here every day? Is that the way it works? I didn't know that. I thought you could only come in here once and do your stuff and do your requirements, right? So it says here, time limit, 2 days, 23 hours. Maybe it reset. No? I don't think it did. I'm confused. I'm confused now. I thought you could only participate once. It reset. It isn't supposed to. Okay, it's bugged. It should only be 5 tries total. It did reset, but you won't be able to use your exhausted units. So if you have more than 5 teams, you can do the 6th battle on the 2nd day. Ah, okay. All right. Well, anyway. Something's weird. Because we're at 43 million. And it's showing we've got 7 hours left on the raid. And I definitely got to play all my teams twice this time. I definitely played my teams twice. So, okay. So we have to assume that in the future you will only get to play a given team once. Right? Once per raid. It resets some characters as well, and that's not working as intended. Arva says some people had refreshed units and other people didn't refresh. CG got that spaghetti code. That's funny. Heretic says my units refreshed too. Judging says not sure if that's intended or not. Okay, so if the working as intended is that you only get to do one run through, then we have to assume that the rewards are going to be based on one run through. Like you said, unless you have... But, I mean, to have 6 teams of Hutt Cartel, Jawas, Mandalorians, Old Republic, and Tuscan, it's pretty Pretty rough. That would be pretty rough. So what kind of teams, I mean, what kind of teams have you used? And I mean, just anybody in chat. What kind of teams have you used? And what kind of scores have you been able to get with them? Because I got like 430,000 with my Gear 12 Mandalorian team. I mean, this team seems to me, I mean, it's really, this is not in good shape yet. I got 2 Gear 12 characters in there. And so therefore I could only put it on the Gear 12 setting, which I think allows you to get like 450,000 contribution. And I got like 430,000 contribution out of it. So the Mandos seem pretty good. The Hutt Cartel, on the other hand, not sure if they're, just because they're not as good and not as much synergy on this account or what, but certainly the Mandos did better than my other half teams of Old Republic and such. Can you restart the raid immediately after it ends? My understanding is that you can have a raid running all the time. So yes, I think if you have the tickets for it, I think you can relaunch a raid right away. I don't know how the tickets work out. I haven't looked closely enough at that. It may be that if you want one raid continuously up, you might not be able to afford to constantly relaunch the Krayt raid. What does it take to launch it? Let's see. So we've got 138,000 tickets. Overview. Faction bonuses. Unit requirements. Global leaderboards. Rewards. I don't know that I can see the details on launching it. Oh, okay. 150,000. Okay. Is it 150,000 for every raid, or is it just 150,000 for Krayt? 7 hours from now, today's ticket. We'll be just short. We'll be just short of being able to relaunch it. After reset today, we'll have the tickets for sure. It's 90K you passed over. 90K every 3 days? Oh. Okay. All right, so it's only 90K to launch the raid. 150 is how many tickets you can have. I passed over it somewhere. He said 90,000 to launch the raid. Okay, so if it's 90,000 to launch the raid, then you should be able to just keep them rolling. I like the new raid, but the lack of the Guild Event 1 token currency and random gear from the raids is putting me at a huge gear crunch this last week and a half. It even says in the rules, roster refresh never. Oh, okay, Blackbird, yeah, so clearly not working as intended. Heretic says, I've been tracking time for each relic character since the beginning of the year. It'll be interesting to see that split pre and post Krayt. Arva says Jabba has been getting max, and Beskar Mando at R5 got max. Nice. So what other teams have you guys used? Just maybe what we should do as a community is just start something where you can post the team that you're using and what rewards you're getting. Because I'd be curious to see what people are using and what kind of, especially for people who are like, okay, I want to build a Krayt team. Like, what's the best Krayt team to build? The Mandos are so good, right? They are so good that they cut their where was the faction stuff? Dang it. Details, Krayt Dragon. Overview. Yeah, here you go. Look, Mandalorians are so good, they had to decrease their damage by 50%. So Mandalorians do half damage. But even at half damage, I was pretty impressed. Arva says BAM is bugged and will be fixed. Regular Maldos are looking good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I was using that Maul-led team at Gear 12, and it did look good. It looked like the control that it had with the ability to, keep the stacks off the dragon, keep people from getting swallowed, still do damage in between. Looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. You guys got to be careful if you put Django in there not to kill all the mines when you don't want to kill all the mines. But, yeah, interesting. Zenith says CG screwed us. New raid sucks. Sonam says hello. Marius Anderson says, have you ever thought of getting Zori Bliss for your resistance team? I don't have Zori Bliss. I don't have resistance teams up and running on this account, on any account right now. I had resistance and Rey on my main account, but yeah, Zori Bliss is kind of in the background as something I want to do someday. There's just so much stuff that I want to do right now that I don't have the resources to farm anything that's not in the farming plan. BAM lead is giving a ton to turn meter. Yeah, so I didn't use the BAM team. I didn't know it was bugged. So I use this team right here with the Gear 12 Maul lead. We'll get the Mandalorian relic. We'll get Old Ben relic this week. We got 2 relics here. And then we'll get Maul relic and we'll have that team done. Then we'll be able to play with man, play with that at relic level. By an Irishman says, gameplay and mechanically I like the new raid. Blackbird says, we'll be going back to Heroic Sith as we can't get the 130 million Krayt with the 350 million GP guild. Arva says, the raid mechanics are nice, but honestly the rewards are bad. Seen some math on Reddit regarding it. It's bad until you get into 450 million GP plus guild, and then you start to profit. TK says, I got 1.025 million with very non-optimal teams. Zenith says, talking loot-wise, and it's going to break a lot of guilds. I know a ton of players who never participate in raids. I mean, isn't the end result just that guilds are going to switch? I mean, you could still, if you want to do a raid, you can still pick a different raid at some point, right? So, if you're in a guild that doesn't really have players that participate, then I think picking things like this Heroic Sith raid are going to be... although it's interesting, right? Is this Heroic Sith raid right here, is this the same Sith raid we used to have? Or is this like the H-Pit version of the normal Sith raid? Is this the raid we always had that, like, let's say SLKR could solo? Nihilus Scion still has 4 phases. Huh. Interesting. Look at the rewards for Heroic Sith. Talking loot-wise, it's going to break a lot of guilds. They need to change the collective guild rewards earned by the top 10 or 20 players. Otherwise, the whole guild is being brought down by the 10 or 20 weakest, least active players. The problem is you get so much less reward in general than previously. That's just very sad. So look at the rewards for the Heroic Sith raid. So like 46 million contribution level. 2,500. So this is strictly, it's worse, but the assumption is that it's going to be easier to score high scores. It only goes up to 149 million, huh? 149 million participation. It must be significantly harder to do damage. Nihilus was a monster phase to get through. So if that phase is a lot harder, I don't know. So it's hard to know, right? But if you can get through this and get to the higher rewards, 10 shards. 10 shards at the max level, right? Sad. And there's no personal rewards on this. There's no personal reward track. So basically, you would max out the raid. You would get 8,400 of this currency, 4,000 of the Type 2, and 10 Treya shards. So let's just look at that for my guild. Let's say that we could get there. So what was that again? 85 and 4, and no tier 3 currency. And where we're at right now is 36 and 495, which is pathetic compared to that. Interesting. But then you have the personal reward path as well, which would give me another 2, 3, 37. Yeah, so I mean, overall, between the personal and the raid rewards here, I'm still scoring less. Still quite a bit less. Huh. You could definitely do it the lower raid, but it feels miserable. Game update and your guild has to backtrack to a 5-year-old raid and lose C-Pit. Taking away opportunities isn't great. Adohan says, Adohan, loss of get 1 and get 2, 30 to 40 kairos a week. I assume it meant like a week. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot less kairos. I agree with that. One man can do the 149 million. Okay. People can still solo Heroic Sith raid. It's the same raid than the other 2-day period to contribute. I saw a Greedo lead squad do 1.3 million. Ha, interesting. It's not going to be harder. It's the normal Sith raid now compared to what you get equivalent rewards in Krayt. There's no point in wasting time soloing Heroic Sith. Just shove in any team like CLS, put it on auto, and then wait for your guild to complete it. Easy rewards and 0 time invested. Krayt is 2 days worth of work. Sith raid is 1 hour. I did the math per week, says Zenith. You can build 2 Gear 12 left pieces. You'll need to buy 4 pieces, or 1 right piece. You'll need to buy 8 pieces. With Mark 1, you can buy 750 Carbantes per week. Ray says, worst thing is C-Pit Guild, who are earning Relic 8 arrow magnifiers, might no longer be able to earn any Mark 3 from Krayt, which is the only way to get arrows. Yeah. Arrow magnifiers are out of heroic pit now, huh? Okay. The pit heroic 1.03 million. Yeah, that's not the sea pit anymore. 4 phases in raid. Wow. That can't be right. All right, let's look at max box. I'm looking at the reward track up top, not the max box. 1,710 shards. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. So you can't really go back to doing the old raids. And the cost of these relic materials out of the shop is ridiculous. It's just dumb. I was pretty upset about that. Like, the conversion rate for these things is absolutely awful. So look at this, 900 currency for 2 bronzium wiring. You gotta be kidding me. 2 bronzium wiring. To relic 1 character, you would need like 900,000 of this, right? Because you need like 160 bronzium wiring or something for a lot of characters. So, yeah. Good luck getting like 1 million currency to be able to relic 1 character. That is, the conversion rate is just dumb. Arrow magnifiers, 400 of the level 3 for 2 arrow magnifiers. Again, that is, it's just horrible. Horrible. 1170 for 2 keypads. Where's droid brains? Can we even get droid brains out of here? No droid brains at all. Wow. Yeah, but these conversions are awful. Just awful. Right? Like, if you're using this level 3 currency 1755 for 3 of these, to make 3 of them, we would need 35, so about 40 pieces. So you're telling me that 1175 of that currency is worth 40 pieces of gold gear. I guess that's not quite so bad. So maybe for the really high level pieces where you've got to sacrifice really good materials, it might work out okay. But yeah, the bronzium wiring and stuff was just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, these conversion rates are just not that great. 5 of them for 425. It makes it feel like, you know, the same kind of rate that you'd be looking at in Shard Shop currency, but this stuff is not going to come in at a rate like Shard Shop currency. For sure. Yeah, so these are awful. Maybe it's okay for the keypads, and maybe it's okay for the impulse detectors. I can see where the impulse detectors might be worth it, and the keypads might be worth it because you're using really expensive gear for those things. Maybe Zinbittle cards. I'd have to do the math, but man, these conversion rates are awful. Yeah, so, I mean, when I looked at the level 3 stuff here, I mean, it almost feels like you just want to buy this Zeta material. But 1175 for 1 Zeta shard? That's also not good. Yeah, okay, so I mean, if we look at it like that, 1170 for 40 gold pieces. So that what, like 30 currency per... I don't know. What do you guys think? It doesn't look good. Doesn't look great. Brady says, I'm worried what I'll do to guilds. I've stayed in my guild because of the community and great progress we've made. Now if you stick in a medium guild with a big roster, you're getting hurt big time. I think everybody's taking a hit over this, though, honestly. I think we all take a hit. Because unless you're in one of the top, 1% of guilds in the entire game, you're not in the profitable section of the rewards. The high-end relic materials are actually really cheap and are the one thing making me like the rewards, says Arva. So yeah, the high-end stuff. The gear to keypad, the Zinbittle cards, the impulse detectors. Those three seem to have a decent conversion. And then arrow magnifiers. What's the crystal cost on those again? 1,200 crystals for 5 of them? Something like that. Now I have to go look. Nope. I was trying to look on the opticio account to see if I could get shipments up over here and then the shipments up over on the opticio account. So just hang on a second. It broke my game. Killed me. Basically, the Raid 3 stuff is great if you get that. But if you don't get it, you need to get the 130 million Krayt. Then you're kind of screwed. Okay, so if we go into weekly shipments and we look for... Just refresh myself on the cost. Make sure nothing's changed. I don't want to say nothing that's not true. Okay. So if we look in here, okay, arrow magnifiers, 1250 buys you 5. Okay. And for the droid brains, it's 1500, but you can't buy those out of the shop. So 1250 crystals for 5. Or 400 Mark III for 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. So 4, 8, 1,000 for 5. 1,000 of this currency would translate pretty much direct to crystals. Yeah, okay, so these are good. These are good. But I wouldn't buy anything lower than a Zinbittle card. And certainly not this. Look at this bronzium wiring. What is wrong with this? It's crazy. 1350 of the Mark II currency for 3 bronzium wiring. It's awful. So the Mark II currency is basically going to be used for gear here. And that's okay. I mean, the exchange rate on the Mark II gear is okay. Right, 425 for 5 bayonets, for example. It's again, it feels a bit like shard shop currency or something. So you'll buy gear with this stuff. You'll buy the higher level relic materials with the Mark III if you get any of that currency. And if you don't get that currency, you should do the Sith raid instead of the Krayt raid. Okay, so what's the moral of the story then? I think the moral of the story is, to summarize, if your guild is not going to prepare for the Krayt raid and enforce participation, you shouldn't do the Krayt raid. So you either have to be organized and build for it, act like you want to do it, or just do the Sith raid. Is that the conclusion you guys are seeing as well? That's what it looks like to me. The purchases for this base currency, though, are good. I like these. I like these a lot. Because you can pick up, like, a bunch of this stuff for 1,000, 70 of them. You can pick up, like, 125 of things down here. So, like, Chedak comlinks. There was a 125 Chedak comlinks for $2,000 down here. So I'm going to wait for that to show up again. Here it is. I don't even have to wait. Look at this. So this to me feels like a really high value purchase, right? So you can either save your currency until you need that gear piece for a character, click on it, find it there, or you can like bank like I'm doing. And this is going to take the pressure off me to need to find those comlinks somewhere else. So I can just grab a bunch of them out of here. Interesting. Kairos and low relic materials are clearly a trap purchase. Did you see the cost of Cairo with Mark II? What a joke. Yeah. Kairos are let's take a look at that. All right, looking for Kairos. There's the Nubian stuff, things, junk. Kairos. I didn't see Kairos in there, guys. Kairos for Mark II, you said. Okay. I missed it. Oh, Kairos are in the weekly shipments? Kairos are in the weekly shipments. Oh. 2,000 for 5 Kairos. What? What is that? It's like they're doing the raid. And they're like, we need to set up the pricing on these materials. And they assign some intern. And the intern's like, how many Kairos am I supposed to put over here? And they're like, yeah, go talk to Jerry. He'll let you know. And Jerry's like, man, I'm busy with other stuff. And they send him to somebody else, and like nobody knows. So the intern just puts in like 5 for 2,000. Does that seem fair? Yeah, sure. Load it. Right? Like whoever's doing that calculation on the conversion rate. It's just, I'm sorry. I suppose that's why you guys pointed me to it. It's total nonsense. Blackbird says it screws over every C-Pit guild. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. All right. I'm going to read the rest of these comments, and then I'm going to make a statement. All right. I kind of agree with Arva. Really need a lot of teams or you're hosed. A drop of 70% gear to the old system. They said the raid will be replaced eventually, so by the time your guild is ready, it can be completely different teams needed. Well, guys, of course they're going to do that. That's how they monetize their game. They want you to pay to build teams that you need for the raid that are relevant right now. But yeah, 6-8 months down the road, it'll be a different raid with different teams. Whatever the next Galactic Legend is, that'll be the next round of characters that we need. So again, I mean, we can't be mad at them for monetizing their game. They have to make money to pay the programmers to keep programming. So somebody's got to pay for it. Somebody's got to pay for it, and it's not advertisers. So yeah, they have to make money in game. That's how they're going to do it. That's no problem. They created the carbonite circuit board and bronzium wiring crunch. I have 450 Cairo shock prods because I needed that green gear for bronzium. Well, Zenith, the good news is if you build one of the new characters, they need like 350 Cairo just to get to gear 12, so you'll use those up in a hurry. You look at it and it seems like 450 is a lot, but with these new characters, those Kairos will be gone in a heartbeat. Yep. Gotta admit, CG is pretty good at making great jokes. JD says the loss of credit and shipbuilding materials feels bad. Forced to spend the Mark I to make up for the loss of 5.1 million credits weekly. So here's the thing. What I would encourage from my community. There's going to be all kinds of chatter going on the boards and discussions and Reddit posts and things like that. And there's going to be a lot of venom, and there's going to be a lot of people being very angry and cheated and toxic. The truth is, there's about a 50-50 chance that CG is going to fix it. So sometimes in the past, they've done things that I think are pretty bad, and they've just stuck to it. But sometimes when they do things that affect the community in a negative way, they wake up to that fact. And just like a lot of content creators talk about account building, mods, and all that stuff from the standpoint of, 9 million, 10 million galactic power accounts that have everything, that can do everything. And they don't think about the people in the middle who only have, one galactic legend and they're still working on stuff. It's a completely different game if you're at the mid game instead of the end game. So what I would ask for, beg for from my community, whenever you feel like complaining or venting or participating in the discussion, make it constructive. So be constructive about your comments. So instead of saying these new raids suck, whatever, make comments like the raid currency for tier 3 needs to be distributed at all levels for mid-tier guilds to participate. So if we want this system to be good, it won't take that much for it to be decent and respectable for everybody. So if those level 3 rewards start showing up on the personal track sooner, right? You can get some. Doesn't have to be, 500 of them, but have these rewards on the personal track, have these rewards on the main track, and bring some rewards down to a lower level. It's just like if you could earn 7 arrow magnifiers, okay, it's 7. But if you could do something in there and get 1 is still better than 0. So, make constructive comments, Say things like adjust the reward system so that we can, so that mid-tier guilds can benefit. So again, if you score the top end, the very highest level, people aren't going to be that dissatisfied with it. But it's all the people in the middle who lost stuff out of the old raid system that won't be able to get it out of the new raid system. And again, it's a 50-50 shot, because their answer could be, well, if your guild wants to do better in the raids, build raid teams. That could be their answer. Or they might listen and make some adjustments to the reward system so that we all can, get back on track. But it's going to be a setback in the meantime. Don't know how much of a setback, and like somebody commented, we'll know pretty quickly on our relic cycles how much it's really going to hurt us. But definitely with the credits, my credits have gone nowhere this week, and the loss of those credits is going to be potentially one of the things that slows everybody down the most. Because if you can't get those credits, oof. Okay, I got to check and make sure that I did placement here on my guild event. I've only got 15 minutes left. I got to make sure that I placed troops. I think I did. Pretty sure I did. Just want to make sure. Yeah, okay, we're good. Don't want it to expire and not have it deployed. That would be bad. Anyway, that's my... Maglor says, indeed, Krayt is only getting interesting when the guild gets the 130 million Krayt. Zenith says they have to fix it. They said they wanted to give us some catch-up mechanics, but then they made it way harder to get to the end game. The only thing that bothers me is that players end up having an advantage over new ones. They're giving 10 Amis to players that gave Bush Leia her Ami. Why? Her Omicron is working properly. Yeah, interesting. Arva says because you don't need the Bush Omicron to get max score with Jabba, it kind of defeats the value of it. There's a huge drop in the regular guild currency, says TK. Yeah, just the generic guild, yeah, the generic tokens. Yeah, and I mean, I'm answering some questions on that stuff already. This type of currency took a huge hit, right? But that's how we get things like low gray. If you want Stark out of here in the early game, you got to buy Stark. If you're doing Executor Path, then you have to buy Dengar out of here. So this currency going away is probably going to have more of an impact on early account building than anything. And then you combine that with the loss of the Get One that we've already got and we'll have, you know, to a further extent now. And, yeah, makes these characters harder too. So, yeah, the new territory battle, not helping with account building so much. The new raid, taking away this currency is going to hurt. It's going to hurt my... I get so many Carbantis out of here. So I feel like my Carbanti stuff is going to slow down a lot. So that's my biggest gripe. Right? Because we're losing all of that participation. And whatever you can buy down here definitely is not going to be the same as being able to buy these characters that you need. So even if you said, okay, we can, you know, we can buy Stark here, so that's still fine. Okay. But I can't buy Stark for this currency, right? Can't buy Stark. So it's not a one-for-one replacement. Jeet says, as someone who is sub 2 million and doesn't have the raid characters yet, I'll be getting them much faster. Yeah, so just the basic raid characters, being able to buy your these guys up top. Yeah, that looks okay. 700 per purchase. That definitely looks okay. Sonam says, my guild is starting the raid for the first time today. Hope we can get more people on board to build teams. I like it when you have to work as a team with your guild. I think that's it, Sonam. I think either your guild makes a commitment to the raid and everybody has to build a team and participate, or you just say, okay, we're not doing that, and then everybody gets the you know, Sith raid rewards. I think they should put back Get One and guild currency to the heroic Sith raid, but maybe even remove some of the gear guild currency. Increased gear you can purchase with the new raid tokens. Don't you get like 1,800 guild activity credits from Territory Wars? That's 160 shards per month. It's still less, though. I mean, less is less, right? So the other thing that you can do, if you're not doing this already, if you don't know, where you complete your daily quests here, if you go over to guild activities, there's always the daily, guild activity that you're working on, dark side energy in this case. So if you focus on these things and you get better participation here, you will get more of the guild currency as well. And if every single person in your guild does those things, those objectives are tiered. So instead of being at tier 3, if every single person in the guild just spent dark side energy, we could be at tier 5, for example. And each time you hit a new tier, all of these rewards go up for everybody. So that's another way that guilds might be able to get help focus people on getting more of that currency back. But we'll have to see, because if your guild can prepare and do decently in the Krayt raid, and you can end up buying more gear than you could with the old raid system, then it's okay. Then guilds just have to know, if you're gonna do the Krayt raid, everybody has to go in, and we have to. So the 130 million, this box. So we have to get this box to make it worth our time. 130 million divided by 50 people is what? Just call it 2.4 or something like that. So everybody in the guild has to be able to score, just generically call it 2.5 million for this to work. Yeah, so you'd probably need 2 teams then, right? Because if we look at the multipliers, you can't even get 2.7 million unless you can max out a Relic 9 team. So that means you probably, wow, to get the 130 box, if everything's working as intended, you have to have 2 full teams that are able to contribute at level 4 or level 5. If you did a 1.2 and a 1.8 and you got most of the rewards on each one of those, let's say you got 1 million here and 1.5 million here. So yeah, you need 2 full relic teams at level 4 and 5. Every player in the guild. That's not really reasonable. There's no mid-game guilds that are going to get there in a reasonable amount of time. Huh. Yeah, so might be that Krayt raid is out for a lot of guilds. All right, let's see. Let's catch up here real quick. Antonio Ribeiro says, like button destroyed. Nice, thanks. For anybody who hasn't hit that like button, please do that. The algorithm always likes when people click the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, any of that stuff. Always helps push things up and helps the channel, so I'd appreciate if you guys can do that. I think they should put back the Guild Event Token 1 and Guild currency to the Heroic Sith raid, but maybe remove some of the Guild gear currency. Okay. So basically, put more of the old currency back in with the Heroic Sith raid. TK says, Glizzy, I assume he's talking to Glizzy. Talking about the Mark 1 currency, and TK says, yeah, you can, but the currency isn't coming in like it was before. Maybe it will. It's hard to yell when we've had a few days of, no raids. Yeah, exactly. You have to see a little bit, but surely we're getting less Carbantes. For sure. People who had the raid characters lose out on shard shop from them, though. That's true, too. Yeah, without those extra shards coming in, that is quite a lot of shard shop currency that we're missing. Yeah, no, that's not good. I don't like that. Now that I think about it. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. That's another. Yeah, it's a bunch of little things, right, that are all adding up. Two months to 7-star one character. With this currency, yeah, it would take about a. Well, no, it would take about a month. So if you look at the raid, you can get like 2,100 of this currency pretty easily out of any of the raids. So if you got 2,100, then every 3 days you're getting 3 purchases. So 3 times 11, 33 days. So you'd be able to get one of these characters every 33 days with decent raids. Should go pretty fast. All right. What did you use for your team's DL? I just used the Maul Mandalorian team, and then I used, what was left. So Old Republic stuff with Revan, Bastila, I relic those characters for the Jedi Knight Luke team. So just a team with whatever was left that I could put in there. Does this make Jabba first a higher priority? Again, we'll have to see how things settle out, because I think that, again, just looking at that Mark III currency at the 130 mark and realizing that people have to have 2 really good teams to even get that 130, what that means, most guilds probably won't do the Krayt raid that often. I think a lot of mid-game guilds will probably do the Sith raid and take the rewards from that. I don't know. We'll have to see how it all shakes out. We'll have to see, guild by guild. And, for newer players, don't build Jabba. Get into a guild that's doing the Sith raid and be happy with it. If you want to build teams for the Krayt raid, then you have to find yourself a good guild that's doing the Krayt raid at 130 and do it that way. So no, I don't think Jabba first is a good idea. I don't think trying to rush all this stuff to get into a Krayt raid guild feels like a good plan for account building. Again, fleet crystals are still the #1 source of income. And the raid doesn't look like it's going to make up for that. It doesn't look like the raid's going to be the thing that makes up for it. All right. Ahmed says, do you think the profundity journey is now much harder? Again, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. The raid's only been out for a couple days, right? We've got to get this some time to settle. I think it's going to be well understood pretty quickly that people aren't happy with the reward system. And maybe they'll make an adjustment to the rewards. So I don't want to speculate about all kinds of crazy stuff and then have them come out a couple days later and say, guys, by the way, we're fixing it. And then everything that I say is going to be garbage. So what we know right now is that we've lost character shards. We've lost just the guild participation currency overall that aren't made up by the raid rewards in any of the raids. So something has been taken away. It's not net neutral. It is that something has been taken away. So I think if they're smart, if they're committed to keeping the community goodwill, I think they have to rebalance things at the lower tiers to get it back to a point where people feel like nothing's been taken away. Because that's what's going to make this raid, the raid could be cool content and people want to play it and they like it and it's fun. Hey, look, there's a new thing in the game and it's fun to do, right? But if it's cost you, if it's the opportunity cost that a bunch of other stuff has gone away in order for you to have this new raid, then it doesn't matter how cool and fun it is. In general, people are going to be dissatisfied, or at least the way that's how I think about it. You know, if I go to a restaurant, right, and I normally order a steak for $20, and I get, you know, a certain size of steak, and whatever, and then I see something new on the menu, and I'm like, oh man, that looks cool. Can I try that? It's also $20, right? And this other thing that I like is $20. And they say, yeah, you know, it's a new flavor we've put on the menu, and people really like it, you know, whatever. And they bring it over to your table, and there's like this much of it in the middle of your plate, right? So you eat it, you taste it, you like it, it tastes good, but you're still hungry. And you're like, I don't care how good it tastes. Like the thing that I ordered before filled me up. So I don't care how good the new thing tastes. I'm going to order the old thing because the old thing at least filled me up. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a good analogy for everybody, but so that's it. I mean, they want they should want the community's goodwill, and that means, you know, putting the rewards at least on par with what we used to have. So, but like I said, I think there's a lack of people at the company that know how to do math, because some of the conversions are really horrible. Some of the costing is just really, it's done like without a consistent basis, right? Without a consistent basis. Here's a fun one for you guys. How do we know how much $1 is actually worth? How do you know how much $1 American, €1, one piece of currency, how do we know how much it's worth? Well, the only way to know how much it's worth is to go out and try to buy something, right? So if you go to buy a gallon of gas and you value a gallon of gas at a certain amount in your own mind, and you go to buy it and it costs you, €2 per liter or whatever it happens to be, that sets a basis for value. But in this game, just like these Kairos out of the shop, right? Like I come in here, and this is like walking into a store, and they've got the gum up front, right? They've got the candy and gum, and there's a pack of Skittles there, and the pack of Skittles has got a price tag of $12 on it, right? And you look at it, and you just laugh, and you're like, oh, okay, so I guess somebody will probably pay $12 for a pack of Skittles. But why would they even do that? Why? There has to be some sense to the cost conversion that would make sense why they would put a $12 price tag on a package of Skittles. So, yeah, I think there needs to be. Maybe I'll do this myself. I don't know. We'll see what happens after my GACs, but maybe I'll put together like some kind of math on what we used to have, what we have now, and what we would expect to see to make ourselves whole. And then instead of complaining, we can just say this is what the rewards look like to get us back just to the minimum level of where we used to be. Wonder if I could do that. Because you have to take everything into account, right? The gear that you got, the shards that you got for the shard shop, the currency. I don't know what good it would do. Again, it comes down to the company's decision on goodwill, whether or not they want the goodwill of the community or just stick with what they've got. Doing these fleet battles for the day. So I'm talking and fleet battling, and I'm not catching up on chat. So I assume there's probably a million chats over there going, telling me what I should think. I just put this on auto. I feel like it's a done deal at this point. We've killed all their ships. We'll retarget this one. Then I'll catch up on chat. Zenith says, we're at a loss. I have to hope, to be honest. I really think they will fix the rewards. Yeah, that's got... The right thing to do would be fix the rewards. Arvis says, personally, I think there's 2 or 3 things I'd love them to do. Overall increase of rewards by like 20%. Put Raid 3 stuff in every crate box and put something between the 130 and the 230 point box. Give us Mark 3 in the 26 million box. Add credits, shard shop currency, etc., says Zenith. Whiskey says, maybe they realize that there are no new players in Swgoh and catch-up mechanics don't help them. Yeah. It does make it hard, though. I mean, when there's people that have been playing 6-7 years that have everything, and the game is being built around those people, and then people come fresh, new to the game, man, it is hard to be motivated when you look at this and you go, oh, I can catch up. I can catch up 3 years from now, right? Like I can have a competent account in 3 years. And then you just delete the app off your phone and you go look for something that gives you instant gratification, right? So I think it really is a huge barrier to sensibly bringing new players to the game. In my opinion, as a community, we shouldn't accept reverse progression. No game releases new content, makes it give less rewards of the old stuff, also taking stuff away. Yeah, so Blackbird, I agree with you. We shouldn't accept it, but we also shouldn't just we shouldn't be too toxic about it, right? We have to at least make a recommendation. There used to be a reason to have alt accounts like GAC separated by GP. Yeah, there's really no reason to do that. Zena says my guild gets 28, 29K tickets daily. That's a ton in gear credits. I have to be really careful how I spend my resources. Yep. JWO says Big Mac Index. Goodwill is like a currency the game developer has. You can either earn it by doing good things for a community or you can spend it by doing something players don't like. But you think is correct. Yeah, so Blackbird, that's a good point. I mean, sometimes, just like when they were making all the changes a couple of years ago, middle of 2022 or whatever, when they had the big shakeup and they changed all the stuff, and like all the streamers were going off their rails and yelling and screaming and end of the world and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the changes that they made to the game back then make a lot of sense retrospectively. It did help them change how they were making the game. So, you know, even if we don't want it, sometimes there's things you still have to do. But you should be honest about it. You should just come out and say, you know, I know you guys don't like it, but there's a reason for it at least. Blackbird says CG constantly spends it and your community doesn't trust you anymore. I don't think that's just CG. I mean, for anybody who likes Dungeons and Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro's going through the same thing right now with D&D. They're at like the peak of popularity of D&D in forever, and they made a mistake with how they presented the terms of the license to use their material in public domain, and curbed fair use and threatened to take a part of people who were making money off of game content based on D&D, and they lost community goodwill overnight, and everybody was on there, calling them liars and digging up secret emails and finding confidential sources at the company. And so I think it's maybe a little bit of human nature that we love to catastrophize when things go badly. We like to make them absolute worst that we can. Although it usually comes around fine in the end. And all of these companies, just like CG, there's somebody at the top who doesn't care about any of it. He just wants to make money, and there's a spreadsheet full of numbers that tell him how many people have spent how much money on the game, and if those numbers are bad, then it's bad. And somebody needs to go figure out how to make this game and make more money. That's true. But there are also people that care a lot about this game, about the idea of Star Wars mobile game, about, having a good community. They may not be the ones we see or hear all the time, but for sure those people are there. They're there. They're trying to help us. So we just got to get the right kinds of information into their hands with the right appeal. Maybe we get it fixed. But certainly if it's just, the gear's gone away and things have gone down and they don't change the rewards back, it's definitely going to hurt us. It's definitely going to slow down the early game for new players. Let's say Executors is a 28-week timeline. Just theorizing at the loss of Shard Shop currency, Guild Event Token 1, and the basic Guild participation currency that we see. If before you could do it for 28 weeks out of the hyperdrive, now it's going to take you an extra probably 4 to 6 weeks. I'm just guessing. It's probably going to add 25% to the time of the Executor journey, for example, with what we currently see in the loss of currency. Again, I should probably make those calculations before I commit to it, but it seems like that's the ballpark. All right, I'd love to get into GAC here soon and show you guys some Grand Arena gameplay. To be honest with you, the Loquitur account's Grand Arena is going to be pathetic. My opponent has everything. I'm fighting up against a guy with 9.4 million galactic power, all the galactic legends, all the stuff in the game. And he put it all on defense. Or most of it anyway. Alright, 9.4 million galactic power, 5.6 in characters, 3.7 in ships. Galactic War Battles 126. So that puts him at 7 years. Maybe even a little over 7 years. Ship-wise, we see the profundity there. Also has the Executor, 6 stars. All the things at Relic. Jabba, Luke, Rey, SLKR, JMK, Lord Vader, Sith Emperor in the house. Skywalkers, Mauls, Grand Inquisitors. No Reva yet, though. No third sister that I saw. Malgus, Starkiller, Tuscans. Full Relic Tuscan team, because why not? Why not? Working on Night Sisters, working on finishing up his Mandos. Yep. There we go. All the stuff. Speed-wise, Admiral Piet, fastest non-GL character, 352. That's fast for Piet. Let's get down here to Zam. Let's see what Zam's got to offer. A couple rows down. 325 without a speed set. Oof. Alright, so he's got everything and also good mods. I hate my opponent already. You know how it is. You like them, but at the same time, you don't want to play against them. Yeah, it's a good account. So we got 3, almost 4 rows of relic characters here. We got to try to get our fleet placement, guys. I'm sorry, but I've missed it. I've had kind of a disaster at work, and I've missed a lot of fleet placement this week. I've missed a lot of the double drop stuff this week. I've really... It's been a rough week to have work-related things interfering, but, you know, it's the way it is. My Swgoh streaming equates to a very small percentage of my salary, so so work comes first. All right, let's get on in here. We don't have breaches on anybody, so we'll go straight for the mass assist here. And then I think we can probably put this on auto. Yeah, we'll get through the assists. We'll make sure that it's going to assist in the right way here. If we let it go, it might take too long. I don't want it to lose a matchup that I've already got won, so to speak. All right, come on. Get on out of there. Yeah, now I think it's a foregone conclusion. We'll put it on auto, let it run. All right, so let's look at the defenses and try to start figuring out what it is that we're going to do. Then we'll play my last fleet battle over here, and then we'll jump right back in. Okay, here we go. Up top, we've got Lord Vader and Rey and Tuscans with the Omicron. That's the Raider, right? Yeah, so the 3v3 Tuscan Raider Omicron. This team is pain in my butt. Pain in the butt to deal with. But the Qui-Gon team down here, looking kind of sad. Ezra Bridger in there. Gear 12 Ezra, though. Because who knows when you might need a Gear 12 Ezra. Down bottom, we've got JMK, Maul, Jabba, Iden Versio, and JML. So what is that? 6 Galactic Legends? Okay, maybe it's only 5. 3 down bottom and 2 up top, is that right? Yeah, alright, so 5 out of his 7 Galactic Legends that we can see on defense. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to see what we can do. Probably go through bottom. I don't know how to kill this Jabba team, though. Does JMK kill this team in 3v3? We can insta-kill the Chrysanthemum, but then he just instantly comes back, right? So basically we could maybe Sith Eternal this. Can you do the C trick where you play out the matchup and then just go into the alt right at the end after building up your mastery? Can you do that versus Jabba, or is that a loss? So if I did C there, and then I still have to beat JML with something, we'd have to try like Imperial Troopers, but that's not going to... I mean, without that Datacron that we had, we're not going to get that done. So we could see here. Then how do we beat Jabba? JMK does kill it. JMK, yep. You have Starkiller. I saw that work recently. I don't have Starkiller. Starkiller, I have not. Looking at your account, you aren't going to get through all 3 GLs. Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm afraid of. Is there anything here that we can Wampa? Is there like some crazy thing where Wampa works against this the JML team? Or maybe we could 2-shot it? Maybe we could do something like I don't know, Vader or something. Try to come in here with some kind of crazy Vader team and kill off Jedi Knight Luke, and then try to come back with Wampa versus JML and just 1-on-1. JMK can win for sure. Take out Krayt and then hit ultimate and focus on Leia. You can beat any combination of the 2 with JMK and C, but the rest is rough without having Starkiller, Afra, Malak, Darth Revan. Yup. Alright, so let's look at the top. Maybe. We still got Lord Vader up top, though, so how do we deal with Lord Vader? That becomes the problem then. I can do Sith Eternal here, right? Probably. But then JMK has to work here. Can troopers get it done? I mean, if I can kill the ads, then troopers can work here, right? Treya's Omicron is turned off now against this team. How do I kill those ads? So maybe, let's see, the problem with Sith Eternal here is, I mean, these guys you can kill, but getting through him, it just ends up being a timeout. Or at least that's my experience with Sith Eternal. I can't build up enough damage to kill Lord Vader with Sith Eternal. So we'd have to use C down here. And then we have to use JMK here. And JMK kind of lacks the damage against Lord Vader, but yeah, he'll get 1 ult off with 2 guys up probably. I guess we can kill the Royal Guard with Cat, right? So we can probably JMK this. I don't know, let's just try it. Let's throw JMK at it. Let's give it a shot. Unless somebody speaks up and says, really, we can't do this. I think we're going to give it a try with JMK. Pick a good Datacron. And we'll just work on stacking damage. JMK kills Lord Vader. I'd run JMK, Cat, and Ahsoka Tano. Put Ahsoka in here. Okay, just to regenerate more instances of whatever that skill is called. I'm blanking on that skill. Force Leap. So use Ahsoka to trigger Force Leap, or is there something that we have to do with buff removal? Yeah, okay, Ahsoka just means faster ults. Yeah, okay. C against Rey with Ben is unreliable. Well, it's what we've got though, guys. So on one hand, you say, what would you like to use against that team, and I can, you know, maybe come up with something that I would like to use. But what do you have to use? You know, people say, what would you like to drive? And I would certainly like to go out and get into a BMW M5 and drive to work. But I don't have a BMW M5, so, you know, it's kind of off the menu at that point. All right. So this is not going to help me that much right now because I got dazes on everybody. Okay, now we'll do this. Get some cleansing. Get rid of this guy. And we'll get back over here. Now we can double up. And he should go down pretty fast from all this nonsense. Try to keep the buff healing immunity on him. Alright. We got to get him out of here before Lord Vader... There we go. Before Lord Vader does his ult. That way, at least he's only got himself on the board. Okay. Yeah, I think I want the healing immunity on him. Let's just keep armor shredding him for now. Try to make this easier. Let's do this on Ahsoka. But then we're going to put Shin over here. Okay, now he can ult. All right. Ow. Make it stop. Okay. Get that healing immunity back onto him. No. No healing immunity. That's no good. Don't kill my cat, bro. Taking way too much damage at this point. Oof. Okay, so I probably messed this up somehow. Come on, get on in there. We gotta get on in there and get this done. Come on. There we go. Got him. You want to swap to JMK always and use JMK middle on Cat Ahsoka if they're dazed. Oh, so I should have been using that to break the dazes. He always wants to assist himself though to get the damage up on that skill, I thought. All right, we got to go out and play one more fleet placement battle. And honestly, guys, if I play this Sith Eternal versus Rey and things don't work out, I'll just clean up what teams I can get and be done with the GAC pretty quickly. Then we'll move on to the Opticio account. Play around over there. Okay. Hope for some good RNG here. There we go. We got some assists. His capital ship is faster than my Millennium Falcon, though. Whew. Scoury. Okay, all right. Let's get some... having a breach on my tank is always stinky because the reinforcements typically don't target the tank, and I need a third debuff on there to get the breach. There we go. Okay, okay, okay. The AI just went full retard. Can you call an AI that? Is that like socially demeaning to the AI. Probably is. Probably have to do a written apology now to the artificial intelligence. Speaking of which, if anybody out there is educated and updated on the whole debate with the, should we or should we not continue to pursue AI, I'm very intrigued by what people's thoughts are. I have thoughts of my own, but if anybody's up to speed on the debate for and against developing AI and what it might mean for us as a species, I'm interested to hear opinions. Is it going to be Terminator, Matrix kind of stuff? I know this is kind of too early to say, but did Jabba replace SLKR as the #1 GL? SLKR hasn't been the #1 GL in a long time. So SLKR is the best first galactic legend to build. His journey is easy. His characters make his team. He's still... I think SLKR and Rey are still the best two galactic legends to build as your first GL. But I would say right now, yes, in the grand scheme of all the characters in the game, Jabba is probably the top team right now. And even if you would say, well, JMK or Lord Vader team can be better, with all the raids and territory battles and everything else that Jabba can do, I think that it's the... that's just the way it is. Jabba is the best team right now. Okay, so let's put in Wat Tambor here. And let's put in the tank. Because reasons. Buy some time. And then we'll look for something with some health. This has got a lot of protection. So protection and crit damage, or armor, resistance, tenacity. It's accuracy and protection, armor, penetration, health. I probably like this one best. It's got health and armor on it. Armor won't help against her ult, but it'll help against everything else. So, okay. Now, if we use the ult on him, well, in Grand Arenas, if the enemy leader begins their turn with Ben Solo defeated and Ben still has an active ally, he revives and gains instant defeat immunity for the rest of the encounter, which can't be copied or dispelled. So if we kill him with C ever, does he stay dead? Ben Solo defeated. Ben still has an active ally. He revives with 51% health and instant defeat immunity. Okay. If everybody's light side, everybody gains instant defeat immunity for 1 turn. While he's active, Rey can't be defeated. Ben can't be defeated while she's above 50%. So why can't it be that we get Rey below half and then instant kill him and he's just out? Isn't that the case? First 6 months I went for Executor while I slowly got Rolo and Wampa and Hoda Shard, says Zenith. Overall, it's like a 10 to 12 month journey. Once the AI starts making Swgoh farming guides, watch out. Arva says Rey is still the worst GL to build as your first GL. I disagree. I still think she's fantastic. Xena says it's kind of scary, especially what AI is doing. Yeah. People probably need to start watching the Futurama Don't Date Robots film. Zori made me want to go for Rey as the first GL, but I want to complete the Smuggler's Run too. So Jabba. Fleet is questionable on Rey. She needs Ben to not get run over by gas. She still gets run over by SK even with Ben. Her offense value is bad. She has little PvE value. Man, we play, I don't know, Arva. Sometimes it feels like we play different games. So what I would say is if you have Rey and JML and you start comparing the two of them, you might say, well, Rey is bad compared to JML. But if you have Rey and no other GLs, Rey does great. She's fine. She's a fantastic character. Her journey's good. It's got a lot of good teams. Rey seems a lot better now with Ben, Zori, and Cal. Okay, so Whale Harder says with Krayt and everything else, once you have a couple GLs, let's say JMK, Cat, C, Executor, focus on core teams like Jedi Knight, Revan, DR, Malak, Sith Trio, or straight for Jabba. So that's the eternal question, right? And that's what you'll have to decide. So I'm in the same position on the Loquitur account, right? Like I know I want Jabba. I'm going to build a Krayt team. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And it's like there is so much stuff that you could do that's beneficial to your account. You could build Afra. You could build Starkiller. You could build another Galactic Legend. The list just, if you're in the mid game and you don't have everything already, there's so much to do. And all of it's good. So I think all you have to do is decide, are you going to be guild focused or self focused? If you're going to be guild focused, I would say build Inquisitors even first. Because Third Sister is ridiculous. And then build stuff for the Krayt raid and participate in guild stuff. If you want GAC, then build more Galactic Legends and GAC stuff. It's hard to know what is the right answer. Hard to know. All right, I'm going to get in here and I'm probably going to mess this up because I feel like I don't actually understand fully what's going to happen, or that in the past I may have gotten lucky with Ben or something, because I've played this matchup with C and I haven't found it to be crazy. But maybe that's just dumb luck that I had in a prior matchup or something. Could be, could be. Okay, so there's Rey. Down below half. Okay. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Can't get protection back at the moment because healing immunity and such. That was a big chunk. Let's take the protection up before I change stance. Oh, healing immunity again. Maybe that's what I misunderstood. Yeah, I wasted a turn there. That was bad on my part. Yeah, okay. All right, the healing immunity. That's the part that I might have missed or, didn't have a problem with before. Okay, yeah, so the healing immunity kind of shut the whole thing down. All right, let's just work through some of these other teams and then get out of here and get on to the opticio stuff. What can we do here? CLS seems okay to me. We've got a Revan team down somewhere though, right? Let me take a look at this. So we've got Tuscans, Qui-Gon. I'm not going to win the GAC. I'm just going in here for money, guys. I'm just trying to get money at this point. Okay, so we've got this Maul team. Is CLS the best against Maul? Or should we do Revan? I feel like a team with Revan is probably best for Maul here, right? Do we like the JMK Jedi Knight Luke team here? What if we did this? What's going on here? Clicking buttons. What if we did something like this? We could just focus fire Maul, right? Just rip into Maul and take him out. Rey is really only good with Ben, and even with Ben she gets beaten by SK. Well, we're all going to have to disagree then. And I will disagree with Arva on this. Because I had Rey on my main account, and I found Rey to be very useful. And I realize at the end game, if you're playing against an account like this guy's got, where he's got 7 Galactic Legends, that Rey isn't that good. But I can tell you from the mid game, when you have a couple Galactic Legends, and one of them is Rey, she does her job. She's a good GL. She does a good job. I want to experiment with this, because I feel like if we can use this and target Maul, we can shut him down. I just don't know if the Luke lead is okay. CLS is probably better here though, right? With the CLS team, you can't kill Maul first at Relic 8. So maybe you play CLS, kill Beskar first. All right. Equip. All right, we're going to give this a try. Relic 8 Maul, though. I wouldn't be surprised if I lose this match. All right, let's take Beskar out if we can. That's not great. Wow, these guys are chunky. Like, I feel like there's a certain amount of damage that should be being done here, and the damage that I'm doing is a different amount. Alright. Beskar down. Yeah, look at that. Yikes. Okay. So now, Luke versus Maul. Should be okay until he gets a bunch of stacks and then just rips through me. Alright, we got it. Lost a Chupio in the making of this victory, though. Get Padme or CLS. They will beat Cat, Maul, Dad Boba fights, no problem. Both are wonderful teams for early game. Arva says, basically my issue with Rey is that, well, she is a GL and not a bad one. Getting her first is lackluster because she doesn't do things better than other GLs, and other GLs offer something else. So let's take SLKR for example. What does he offer? What does SLK offer that Rey can't? So you say, okay, well, maybe specifically I want to beat Jabba the Hutt, and Rey can't do that. You know, okay, fair point, right? Like, Rey can't beat the exact same matchups. But I value her as a better character or team in GAC than SLKR. I had both of them on my Allura account, and I always got more value out of the Rey than I did out of SLKR. So in Conquest, not even close. You know, SLKR does some things in Conquest, but Rey was the queen of Conquest for me. She was like, you know, keep these two random characters alive. You know, finish the thing with Visas Mar alive or some crazy, you know, light side character. And Rey's just like, okay, no problem. I'll do that. You know, level 1 character, no stars, no mods, no nothing, and Rey just keeps them alive for the feat, and we're good. So she owned Conquest for me, and SLKR would often lose a character, you know? You go in against a team with a bunch of area effects, and they just start blowing stuff up, and Hux or the Red Trooper or somebody will die, and you get a 2-star victory. SLKR can do Sith Raid. Who cares? Is that even relevant anymore? Like there's no personal track for the Sith Raid in the new changes. So what are you getting out of SLKR? I think he's strictly worse. The only thing that you get with SLKR that's useful enough that it puts him over the top is the fact that the finalizer fleet is still useful. But then with Rey, you just don't build the fleet. You go buy the 5-star Raddus out of the store, and you never spend a single resource ever on the fleet. Ignore the fleet. You get a fleet with SLKR, but you got to pay for it. You got to build it. You get no fleet with Rey, but you just buy the capital ship to 5 stars, and you don't waste resources on it. Don't waste resources on the ships, on the capital ship. Just buy it for crystals and be done with it. SLKR offers the finalizer, says Arva. Assault battle, one of the GLs that beats Rey, Ben reliably, if you don't have SK. I think it's funny that at the same time we're picking on Rey for being a bad GL, we're pointing out that another GL is good because he beats her. We shouldn't even have to think about whether or not a team beats Rey if she's that bad of a GL, right? If she was really that useless, why would we be discussing what beats her? Rey's a good journey. Arva can have his opinion. I respect opinions. Doesn't mean that I have to be right. I'm not trying to be right. I just believe that Rey is a good character, and I'm not going to change my mind based on other evidence that may be presented, unless that evidence is conclusive in a meaningful way. I played her. I liked her. I always had a use for her. I never regretted doing the journey. I got 3 good teams out of the journey. There's no other journey that you can build where you get 3 fully effective teams out of the journey. Not that I'm aware of. if we actually kill this guy with the can't revive thing, and they revive, is there anything that says they can't prevent the revive? Summon a Tuscan Raider. If the summoned Tuscan Raider is defeated while another Tuscan ally is alive, summon a Tuscan Raider. Okay. Huh. So I know you can kill this with area effect stuff. The question is, can you kill it with annihilation effects? There are 6 and she's definitely at least third. There are 7 GLs, Whiskey Hoarder says. Oops, forgot Jabba. Probably about to be 8 soon. Rey has one major flaw. Nothing from her requirements will lead you to another farm, unlike the other characters. I mean, Jedi training Rey is needed for Jedi Master Luke, so there is a requirement. There's one requirement that crosses over somewhere at least. I don't know the answer to this, so I kind of want to play around with it myself. I want to see if I execute this first main Tuscan with Nihilus, if that keeps him out of the battle forever, or if he will continue to resurrect more copies. If the copy will resurrect a copy. And J-Wo says it will. I don't know if that means it will work or if it means it will resurrect a copy. We're going to try to find out, though. Alright, so this guy in the back has to be the copy, right? Oh, it may all be irrelevant because... wow. Okay. So if we yeet this Tuscan Raider, isolate here, and if we kill this guy, what happens? That is the question. Do we get another Tuscan Raider or not? Okay, so we just get the summon back. So the summon will keep summoning a summon. Okay. Or not. Isolation did that? Was it because we isolated him? Huh. Alright, well, execute worked. Isn't the Tuscan Ami bugged now anyway? I don't know if it was... Summon keeps summoning a summon. That's BS. I don't like how Darth Nihilus is looking at us. He wants to be relict. You can see it on his face. He does want to be relict. For sure. I'd want to be relict if I was him. Okay, let's do Dash Han Chewie. And then we'll move on. Nothing else I can beat. 27 Galactic Legends. Still in play. Couple months down the road, guys, we'll have this Jedi Knight Luke team done that might have been useful. And we will have the Fennec team. That's a question I'm not sure I know the answer to. Does the Fennec team that kills Lord Vader in 5s still work in 3s? Does Fennec still kill Lord Vader in 3s? I feel like the answer is like Fennec, Bosk, and Mando or something like that might still work, or Fennec, Greedo, and Mando. Not Greedo. Grief Karga. Alright, we beat some teams. We scored 345. We're done. If the opponent decides to play, he's going to just come in there and smash our face into an absolute pancake. Fennec and Grief +1, says Judging. Nice. With double drops, I relicked Old Ben on May 4th and then Jedi Training Ray on May 5th. Nice. That's a good feeling. Shark says Savage is just casually doing 100k damage. Arva says yes and no. With the Datacron, Lord Vader is very hard for Fennec to beat in 3s. Xena says, are you doing the 100 crystal refreshes with fleet energy? I did. Yeah, I was able to do those a couple times. They gave us like 1,000 extra crystals in the mail yesterday. So when they gave us the 1,000 extra crystals, I dumped the 100 cost refreshes on regular energy and on fleet energy. Yeah. They gave me 1,000 free in the mail, so I went ahead and spent 600 of them right away. If it's Datacron plus Maul, is nothing Fennec can reliably do. Well, I mean, the Datacron is a cycle, though, right? So it might be that, you know, the Fennec counter doesn't work for one cycle while there's a Datacron. But assuming no Datacron versus no Datacron, then it works. That's what I want to know. If that's the case and it works, then we're good. Scott Press says the Datacron shuts down Fennec. It's just a wall of purple and Fennec can't punch through if she's 20,000 offense. Yeah. No DC, she works, but scary if Thrawn is present. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the Opticio account over here. We got Loverini. Let's go to the mall. Interesting. I wonder if that's a shopping mall or a sledgehammer mall. Let's go to the Darth Mall. I don't know. There's a way to make that title funnier, but I'm kind of missing on it, guys. Sorry. Galactic War Battles 114. So that puts the account a little over 3 years old. 6.9 million galactic power, 3 million in ships, 4 million in characters. Zoinks. Executor here in the house. Yep, Executor, Malevolence, Negotiator. Negotiator 6 stars, though. Interesting. All kinds of stuff. Down here at Chromium 3. 2 Galactic Legends with C and Ray. Got Revens, Malik in here. Relic 6. Or Relic Maliki Malik. Relic Maliki Malik. That's a Hawaiian song. That's got to be a Hawaiian song. Relic Aliki Malik. It's the thing to say on a bright Star Wars day. Alright. Way too much stuff. Wampa. Relic Geos. Talia. Check out Talia, yo. That is a interesting use of resources. I'm trying to think of how to put it politically correctly so I don't offend anyone. Even if I was building Night Sisters, I'm not sure that Talia would be among my Night Sisters. built her instead of Spirit. I feel like Spirit would always have strictly been better. Or the Initiate to hide. Talia, though, huh? Okay. Alright, so, yeah. 2 Galactic Legends and a bunch of other stuff. Check this Luke. Farm Boy Luke, Gear 12, with an Omicron on him. Zoinks! Talia is needed for assault battles? Oh. Oh, so the assault battles work better with Talia? Am I seeing things, or this guy doesn't AV unlocked? AV. Oh, okay. So Talia is worth relicking then? But you can do, okay, so you can do challenge tier 1 with just a relic DACA. Why would you even care to build your Night Sisters for challenge tier 2? I don't get that. Challenge tier 2 on 1 assault battle is like not something worth resourcing that heavily. But okay. It's all good. All cool. Alright, he beat everything but the pro fun did he? Did he fight it? Yeah, he fought it. 2 battles, standing strong. Okay. Alright, so he's done. We're probably done too. I mean, looking at his account. Did he put a GL on defense? Okay. Not here yet. Jedi Training Ray. Jedi. Darth Revan. Relic 7. Relic 7 Sith Empire Trooper. With speed and health. Okay. Okay. That makes it hard for troopers to get through. We got through a team like this with no Malak. And we got through the team with Savage. Because there was no Malak. Right? Maybe we can Savage this up. Yeah, Bastila here. Oh, this is Piet abuse. Piet abuse. So what does he do? Link the tank? I mean, that's a timeout team, right? Super annoying. Alright, I don't think I can even clear a zone here, guys. This is crazy. Crazy stuff. I think Savage might be my only chance against that team. We could use troopers and stuff up top. We're gonna give it a try. We're not gonna go quietly into the night. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can sith it up. Here we go. Treya. Savage. Nihilus. Oof. Let's get it done. Speed set on set. 6A speed mods. He goes invisible. Thrawn fractures you, and you're stuck behind Royal Guard. Definitely could catch you off guard with the wrong team. Okay. Huh? I guess we're just stuck in a duel of basicing with this guy. Do I want to isolate? I don't think I want to isolate. execute. Okay, one down. Bastila. Zappy zappy. Let's isolate her. Because reasons. Oh! Traya down. Nihilus almost down. Nihilus down. Sad. Make. Ooh. The Traya's... What did I just do? I clicked the wrong button. Traya's debuffing stuff went away. Alright, we got it. We got it. Thank goodness for mods. Having mods greater than not having mods. Alright, 305 speed on this Piet. His leadership doesn't give him speed, right? 30% offense potency. Inevitable failure. Thrawn is what? 192. With 6 dot speed mods having no speed substats. I want those materials. Please give me those materials that you used on those mods. I want them. Okay. Okay. So Bastila team, the Empire team. We could, I feel like I have to do troopers here. Probably have to Wampa the robots. That would leave me with Jedi Knight Luke here. So I got CLS team, I've got a Dash team. Jedi Knight Luke. So maybe this is good with troopers or something. Maybe it's good with 501st. No, because if we get Padme on the back wall, then I really need my 501st for Padme. Man, it's another team. It's another time that I'm facing a team. It's good enough that I've got to bring something against it. I don't want to bring a good team, but all I have left is good teams. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a mediocre team that's good enough to beat this. All right. I don't think Radis is the answer. Maybe Radis is the answer. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not very confident with Radis. We're going to do 501st, and if Padme's on the back wall, we'll just figure it out. We'll just figure it out on the fly. Crit chance, crit avoidance, accuracy, armor, health, stuff. Man, these Datacrons are all mediocre. Let's go. What's the mod set on Savage? I think I have my Savage. That's a good question. I think I actually have him set up for offense. I have to go check. All right, we'll do this to prevent the stun from Royal Guard coming in first. We will put taunt on 5s for right now. Okay. Just taking a bunch of clone turns. Get the aerial advantage up. Wow. That was a nice little series of stuns there. Get rid of him. Get him out of here. Okay, there's the sacrifice. We'll get Shock T back in the match now. Heal her back up. I don't mind that sacrifice got triggered. We'll get Thrawn out of here. Maybe I'm mistaken thinking he's more of a threat than Piet, but quickly get around to our aerial advantage again. Do it again. Get it done. Get out of here. Okay, these Jedi. Need something good here against these Jedi. Something with pretty good sustain. Maybe the Qui-Gon team? Maybe we could do a Qui-Gon team here and just work our way through them slowly but surely with Anakin. Bring in Yoli Bindo just in case we need to resurrect somebody. Well, can't resurrect anybody with Qui-Gon. Never mind. That don't work. We'll bring in a tank. Just want to see the back wall. Please check. Okay, we'll take a look at Savage here in a second. Yeah, we'll just do this. We'll do that. That was lame. Pathetic. Thought we'd get a little more out of that. Okay. Lots and lots and lots of foresight. Not enough, though. For all the foresight you have on the opposing team, still, it is not enough to deal with this Anakin, this killing machine. All right, let's see the back wall here. Anakin loses bonuses without Galactic Republic. True. True, he loses bonuses. Okay, so we've got Tuscans back here. We've got Iden. Ugh. Ugh. We've got Iden back here and Grievous up front. That's not too bad. That's annoying. Fin Poe. Good gravy. Super annoying. If they had good mods, I'd be scared. Okay, so we've got Troopers, Jedi Knight Luke, Dash, Vader. Is this team slow enough? Probably. What can I do here? Where can I Radis? Which one of these teams is most susceptible to Radish? I feel like this is probably... This is a team that even with bad mods is still really threatening. So this is probably the biggest threat that he has left on the board right now. So we'll use the CLS team here, blow through it. Have you exchanged thoughts on the new raid rewards? Yes. That's all at the start. Like the first hour of the stream today is talking about all that stuff. Yep. Alright, so you want to see how I've got my Savage modded. Okay. Crit damage, offense, and then the arrow is actually a defense arrow with speed. So I put defense sets on him, defense main stat arrow, crit damage, offense on the cross. Total health is 55, total protection is 49. And unfortunately, I don't have enough defense mods, so I had to use some, health mods. Ooh. If that was crit damage, I'd slap that thing on right now. Do that. Yeah, so in some of my early Savage matchups, I did have some issues with him timing out against a team or two that I used him against. So I do believe we made him a little more offensive just to avoid timing out. All right, Blessed Carrot, man, how you doing? How is everything in Portugal? Good, I hope. Jedi Training Ray is scary. Jedi Training Ray can be scary. She definitely can be terrifying. We're going to use troopers probably there. Although the troopers would probably... the troopers would do well against the Fin Po team, but if I get the wrong counterattack going on, then I eat 1 billion damage and die. That won't help. Okay, here we go. Let's get in here. And probably just going after Revan. We'll go after Revan first, pop the Savior. We'll go back after him. We'll let Jolee Bindo resurrect him if he wants to. And then we'll kill Jolee Bindo. Switch stances so I can kill Jolee Bindo. Okay. He brought him back. No surprise to anyone. But now the res is down, we got plenty of time. It's all irrelevant for them. It's relevant for me. Not relevant for them, though. Okay. So. Dash team. Jedi Knight Luke team. Trooper team. My troopers are not fantastic for this battle. I'd have to do it this way. But I think we can make that work. Wait, is this Hero Finn? Wait, what? The team on the back is not Fin Po, because Finn is here. Is it Fin Po? Which is like strictly a lot worse. What is going on here? This is the leadership that you want in the Fin Po team. Yeah, this is great. This is the leadership that you need for that team. I just looked at it and assumed that that's what it was. Wow. Okay. Not scared anymore. Alright, do I have Iden? No, I don't have Iden. Okay, let's go. We're going to have to drain turn meter, and we're going to have to kill a non-Rey character first, which is Finn. So, let's go, Dark Trooper. Earn your paycheck, bruh. I hate it, but we got to do the mass assist here or we're out of turn meter. Okay. Pew. All right. Now on to the main course. She will probably one-shot Veers if she gets over onto him. Reduce her armor. Nope. Dodge. This seems odd to me. Why is she not... I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Shouldn't she be gaining turn meter like crazy? Doesn't she like... Maybe she's just so slow that it doesn't seem like she's gaining it. Okay, we're through. Now this Grievous team, the only robot is the HK. We've got... I mean, maybe I just take in something like Jedi Knight Luke against the Iden on the back wall. So I could just use Jedi Knight Luke and just hit things hard enough, I guess. If I had to. Yeah, using a Poe lead here. So much worse. That is so much worse than Finn. If my opponent watches this, and one thing only, man, Finn has to go there. Old school Finn has to be the leadership in this team. Everything's worse with Poe lead. Okay, so what am I going to do here? Vader? No, Vader's probably Dash. Or Radis. Man, I would hate to have to Radis that team. But okay, if we do Wampa up top... I can't do Wampa up top. I'm just going to Wampa the Iden. That's a known quantity. It'll get me through that battle. What can I do against Grievous that'll get me through that one? That's the question. Don't worry about debuffs. Just worry about damage. Mon Mothma? Moth lady. Biston, and then like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel for other good stuff that'll probably get killed by Grievous in one hit. That's the problem. I'm kind of lacking another good rebel fighter for this. Radis wins easy versus Iden. Not sure if I already mentioned, I'm watching from the beginning on the February road ahead. They said the newest raid would reward the new token, aka the Mark III. Chayik YT says, on a PC version of the game, I used to use a glitch that makes me get 240 frames per second, and it doesn't work anymore. What does that even help with? 240 frames per second. Does that help with something? Where's Power, Soldier? It's in the same place as everything, you know? You just can't build everything. The other thing I could do is I could just put in Mon Mothma with, you know, I don't know. Maybe Radis versus Iden is the right move. Just take Radis down bottom. Let's do that. Let's do that. It's breaking my brain trying to think of something to do here. I don't think Dooku's going to have nearly enough potency to do anything to my Wampa. Might get one stun early, but that should be it. HK, tanking for the team. Look at it. Oh. No, never mind. He's gone. Relic 8 Wampa, guys. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. $71,000 damage on a basic. Beautiful. 0 ramps. I never touched the ramp button once. Did I? I don't think I did. I know you've said it before, but what's the Hutt Cartel tunes you're relicking first for the Krayt raid again? I'm planning to do this team. He's got Executor on defense, so this is over. I'm not going to beat his Executor. This team here. So we'll put Leia in the lead. Greedo, Boba Fett, Mob Enforcer, Skiff Guard. I mean, I feel like I would rather have Chrysanthemum in this team somewhere other than the Mob Enforcer. But these are all things out of the Jabba journey. So basically, I'm just pulling forward characters that I need to relic anyway, and doing them first to get that team to relic, in case my guild wants to do the Krayt raid. I'm ready for it. And we got, we got Greedo to relic, and we almost got Mob Enforcer by the time I do my update Monday. I think we'll have her. Double relics. And then we'll just need the Bushi and Skiff. DL, it's funny to see you so proud of your Wampa. Nice. Chrysanthemum will be an accelerated farm in July, so I'm farming him last. If your guild ain't 500 million, Krayt raid is pointless. And then you can go and full R8 the Jabba team. Yeah, I mean, if my guild is doing the Krayt raid and we stick with that, then once I get Jabba, it seems very likely that taking them all to Relic 8 would be a good idea. Max it. Step on the gas. Alright, so we're going to play this out. I feel like the Dash team has to go here. I don't want to get caught behind these dumb Tuscans. So, do Dash here. What else has a big enough area effect hit that we can kill Tuscans? I think that's probably the extent of what my account has got right now that can do it. So we'll do Radish here. And add a Datacron. Not because we need to, because we can. Equip that up. And take out Iden. Now we've got something that kills Empire thing. Oh, we're on 1 speed from Wampa still. Lul. So if we can kill an Empire character while we've got this Rebel buff on, they stay dead. Is that correct? Am I remembering that correctly? Alright. Let's try to get him out of here. Alright, pew, die. Get over here on Stark. I do want to test that though, because I think if Jyn Erso gets the kill, it's not going to work out. Timing is not going to work. Alright, we'll just kill him. Just die. Pew. Oh. Pew. And stun. Yeah. We like a stun. Hey, in the new Saw Gerrera, did anybody find that loop with Saw Gerrera and Cassian Andor where you can get into an infinite loop of grenade throwing? If you trigger the skills at the right time with the Saw Gerrera team, I had Cassian Andor throwing grenades over and over and over again. Just for the fun of it, I stacked up like 250, or not grenades, but exposes. I stacked up like 250 exposes on everybody. Not because I needed to, but just because I could. It's kind of fun. Alright, we probably don't even need Han and Chewie for this, right? We just need the area effect damage from Dash. And as long as we can AoE those guys dead at the same time, then we're good. Life's good, and we're done. Alright, let's get in here against some Tuscans. Can we one-shot them? That's the question. Bam! Yep! The answer is yes. Okay. How are we doing on banners? Yeah, I guess it's a moot point at this juncture. Let's just try to... You know what? I'm not going to try to pinch banners and win with like one extra banner. I'm just going to try to play smart. We'll get through these teams with the maximum amount of banners that I can get. That's what I'm going to do. So this, in theory, we go, we kill Hero Finn, stun people, run them over. They shouldn't even get to do anything. They'll just be sitting there looking at us. Although I'm going to reduce them to like 122 speed, they're probably already at 122 speed. I didn't check, but it could be that they're already there. This is not a Fin Po team. Yeah, I already identified that. Already figured out that it was a Po Fin team, which is a lot worse. You say Po, I say no. No, Po, no. No Po, no? That's got to be a word in some language. Okay. 57 banners. The BAM thing worked for me without Canderous as well. I saw a video and the dude just put it on auto basic and got a max score. I used BAM, Greedo, Boosh, Boba, and Skiff for 1.2 million damage. The boss ate one of them and never took another turn. Okay, so Beskar Mando must be the way to go. Sounds logical. Can I... Can I just Vader this? Because... What's he going to do? There's no stun, right? Tenacity down. Stagger. Inflict a debuff. Deal special and inflict a debuff. Attacker stun. Healer support. Okay, so tenacity down plus a stun. Alright. So the question is, will they even get a turn? Man, I want to just do this because I feel like it's going to work. But then if it doesn't work, I'll be sad. The other thing that I could do is I could just Let's just do this. We don't even need Mon Mothma, but at least then I guess we don't share stats either. How do I guarantee 57 banners? That's the question. I need to guarantee 57 banners right here. You know what? Strange as it is, I think the thing that will absolutely guarantee banners is this. Question is she fast enough? 225. Let's see if she's going to outrun these guys. 167. And 180. Alright, so Vader does his thing, and if he doesn't do his thing, Mara Jade follows up. Vader's going to kill him. I don't even need this. Vader's just, you know what? I don't want to lose it. We'll do this just in case. There's no way, though. Vader's just going to run over everybody. Boop. This. Get Krennic out of here. Oh, no. Okay. All right. Change of scene. Vader isn't going to kill everybody. Okay. All right. Mara Jade doing her work, pulling her weight, making sure that we get a 57 banner win here. Fair enough. Okay. So now we need 71 banners to tie. 72 banners to take the lead. What just happened? I thought I was on ships. 72 banners to take the lead. Okay. Okay. What do you think, guys? How do we get the maximum possible banners here? I feel like separatists, the question is, do I get more banners back with Plo coming in? Or do I get more banners if Spy executes somebody? I don't have like, some kind of cheese that I can do with Solo Houndstooth. And at least a couple of these characters here are relicked already, right? So these aren't just complete garbage ships. This guy's relicked. Oh no, Fives isn't relicked. Okay. I think we do it this way, and then maybe Plo will get us some banners back if we can bring him in just at the right time. Okay. Well, let's go. High banners here. Absolute max banners. Now, in hindsight, though, with regretto-vision, I wonder if we'd have been better off bringing in the negotiator here, and that way, on the off chance that we had to go up to the executor and try to kill a single ship, the Malevolence has a better chance of actually getting a kill. Oh man, I lost the vulture droid. That's it, right? That's going to put me at 69 banners max. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. I believe that's it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. And then, of course, he shoots both ships, getting protection off of both of them. Man, I tell you, if you want a clinic in how to take banners away from somebody with a bad fleet, this AI knows how to do it. 68 banners. Yeah. So that's a loss for us. I don't think I can even kill a couple ships here. But remember, guys, I have nothing on defense. So, like, the characters that I have on defense, he had like a whole bunch of relic stuff on defense. I've got nothing on defense. My defense is sad. Yeah, we had to keep that. We had to keep that Vulture droid alive if we wanted to have a chance. Losing the Vulture droid was game over. Alright, so we're actually going to prompt the Houndstooth to go. Oh boy. Oh boy. We've already lost in so many ways. Yep, nothing to see here, guys. Let's see. Let's do this. Get that over there. Ooh. Five's good. Yeah. This, we're not going to get a kill. We're not going to get nothing. Nothing. Alright. Alright, too many relics, guys. The guy just had to fight too many relics. Alright. Good enough. We lose. I can't think of a way to pull this out into a win. Alright. Hey, y'all. I'm going to have to get going here. I've been sitting in this chair for long enough that the restroom is shouting my name. So we got to go. Opponent's GP. What was it? 7 million. I think we were fighting 7 million. Yep, 69.51 rounds up to 7 million. 3 million ships, 4 million in characters. 3-year-old account versus a 1.3-year-old account. So he's 2.5 times as long in the game. Small compensation. Alrighty, y'all. I'm going to hang it up there for the day. Azura says, have a great weekend. You too, man. Have a great weekend. To everybody that's watching, really appreciate everybody. Thank you all for coming and hanging out. Hope you had fun. Hope you learned something today. I know I learned some stuff from you guys as well, so it's been interesting and entertaining for me. Thank you all. I appreciate you. Hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Do the subscribe thing, the notification bell thing, all that stuff, if you could, please. And join us over on the Discord. We've got a fantastic Discord. I gave away a whole bunch of money on May 4th. Congratulations to the winners. But even if you didn't win, you know, we'll have more giveaways in the future. Hope to see you over there on the Discord. Link is always in the description down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next Holocron.